She is the president of the association. As you know, today is Nurses Day, as I would say, Nurses Appreciation Day. Every day should be Nurses Appreciation Day, but today, May 12th, we are honoring and showing appreciation to our nurses for the work they have done and the work that they continue to do. And even as we're in this pandemic, they continue to play a very, very important role in making sure that our healthcare system is up and running and providing good service to our people here in St. Kitts and Nevis. So, Ms. Francis, I'll allow you to introduce yourself and we'll head right into the discussion for this morning. Go ahead.
Good morning, St. Kitts. I'm Jamela Francis. I'm the president of the St. Kitts Nurses Association.
Awesome. And thank you so much for accepting our invitation to be here on our program. As I said, it's Nurses Appreciation Day,
Yes.
and we are showing appreciation to our nurses. And this will be an opportunity for you to speak about why Nurses Day, why did you decide to become a nurse, and tell us about some of the activities that the association will be carrying out to recognize the significance of today.
Okay. Well, let me go into the St. Kitts Nurses Association, giving you the people a little bit of an overview of the St. Kitts Nurses Association. The Certified Nurses and Midwives Association of St. Christopher and Nevis and Anguilla was inaugurated in 1953 after much thought, determination, and discussion by a group of nurses who recognized the importance of associating for the improvement of standards in nursing education and nursing services in these islands. The association believes that through active membership, nursing can achieve professional status and reciprocity. In 1967, following the change of political status of these islands, Anguilla became a British dependency and formed its own nurses association, leaving St. Kitts and Nevis to continue as an association. So that is where we stemmed from,
Right.
way back in 1953. And we have been here, so it's over 65 years since we have been in existence. The St. Kitts Nurses Association has some purposes. We have objectives that we wish to fulfill as an association. The purpose is to advance the status of nursing as a profession by setting criteria for the practice of nursing in St. Kitts and Nevis. Our objectives: we want to advance the educational, economic, social, and professional welfare of our nurses, to facilitate the advancement of nursing as a profession by providing necessary support measures. We want to create public awareness of nursing as a profession, to promote an atmosphere of ethnocentricity among professional nurses. We want to encourage high standards of professional services by influencing the public and initiating and supporting legislation. We also aim to maintain regional and international relationships and affiliations, and most of all, to uphold the ethics of the nursing profession as set out by the Code of the International Council of Nursing. So we have a great mandate. There is much for the Nurses Association to do.
Right.
And all in all, our purpose is to ensure that when you care for the caregiver, we can then care for you. Because at the same time, I would say to the general public, you cannot go to a place where you are expected to care and you yourself are not being cared for. And so first and foremost, I would say the nurse in and of herself needs to be cared for.
Right.
And if we care for our nurses, of course, she's going to care for you. And whether you care or not, we're going to still care for you, but we want you to care. That is the heart of it, for you to care. And working together for this goal, this one goal is going to allow for St. Kitts to go even further into the future. For Nurses Day this year, the theme from the International Council of Nursing, from World Health Organization, is nurses, a voice to lead, a vision for future health care. I would dare say that St. Kitts is a safe haven. As of presently, we are considered a safe haven, and we should be grateful. We should be grateful to the health sector, not only the hospital nurses, but the community nurses who were at the forefront of it all. Nurses had to go out on boats to the cruise ships, go out to deal with people. Nurses were at the airport as early as 2019 when I came in from New York. Nurses were there at the airport screening persons and checking, and this thing was not even a pandemic as yet. So when the world looks at St. Kitts, the world should say, well, what did St. Kitts do? What did St. Kitts do that, put us on the map to be such a safe place? Well, I would say it's because the Ministry of Health, the Nurses Association, the executive at the institutions, and the community sector, along with working with the multidisciplinary arenas of the hospital itself. Everybody worked together. The police force, everybody worked together to make St. Kitts a safe haven. It was not any one man's doing or any one woman's doing. It was a collaborative effort. And I also would say that the prayers of the people of St. Kitts must have played a great role in protecting the islands from, all this harm. We have not really experienced the impact, the great impact of the coronavirus. We have not experienced it. I have a sister living in New York who she saw patients dying by the thousands, days and days and days. She would call and saying that she went yesterday, she left the patient, she came back today, and they're dead, they're gone. No family, no relatives. Some persons had no next of kin that they could have contacted. And it's a sad reality. And we here in St. Kitts, we take it for granted. And I think that we ought not take these things for granted. We need to unite together, to join together in one voice, and to work together to maintain this safe haven. The Nurses Association is committed to the country to ensure that we uphold, these goals and these standards of nursing practice. And so that at the end of the day, we could even get persons to come in. Persons may want to become nurses here and there. But for the association, my main goal, because in the past years, the nurses would have been reliant on the government and the government alone. But with the association being a non-government organization working within our own autonomy, we as an association have our own goals. And as I would say, my goal as the president is to move the nurses from being self-reliant to self-dependent, where we depend on each other. And we can hold any government or anybody. We don't care who is there. We do not care who is there. But our goal is to ensure that the people of this country is taken care of.
Right.
And we do not care who is in power. So this is a warning from the St. Kitts Nurses Association president to all government that we will unite in one voice for the benefit of all the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. Because when I think about politics, I think about the politics of nursing. And that's the only politics I want to know about. The politics of nursing and protecting the people of St. Kitts who deserve the best. Mm-hmm. So that's where I am in terms of our goals.
And thank you so much, Ms. Francis, for your presentation. I'm so happy when you said that nurses need to be cared for.
Yes.
Because oftentimes, we would go to seek medical advice, we would go to get care from the nurses, and we never stop and think or try to think, well, who is caring for that nurse? And sometimes people would have a very negative attitude towards nurses, not understanding that they too are humans and they too
Yes.
need to be cared for. And I think that the theme that was chosen for this year's celebration of Nurses Day is quite fitting: a voice to lead, a vision for future healthcare. As we're in this pandemic, I mean, I would say that St. Kitts and Nevis has done well in managing the pandemic and keeping our numbers down, and thanks be to God, because we're seeing across the Caribbean region, we're seeing internationally where other countries are in a very difficult position. Yes, it's not for us to boast and say, well, St. Kitts is doing fine, Nevis is doing fine, but it is just the fact that while we are still trying to grapple with the effects of the pandemic, I think all of our people played a very important role in keeping St. Kitts and Nevis
Yes.
safe. As you mentioned, you had the community health nurses, but I think it was everybody
Yes.
that played a very important part, and role in
Yes.
keeping St. Kitts and Nevis safe. But today is Nurses Day, and for the entire week, your association
Yes.
will be having a number of activities to say thank you to the nurses. Can you list some of those activities?
Okay, well, we started the week, and the Minister of Health, Honorable Akila Nisbet Byron, she would have opened the week on the 10th of May at 9 a.m. She was on ZIZ, and she gave her presentation, and we are grateful for it. We also had our Nurses Day church service on the evening of the 10th. That was at the New Testament Church of God. We were streamed live on Facebook, and it was quite a successful service. We really enjoyed ourselves. We had our educational symposium yesterday, May 11th, at the WAS University of Veterinary Medicine. Most of our nurses, many of our nurses, were able to come out and participate in the activities that were there. Today, May 12th, Nurses Day, we started the morning with the Jerusalem Dance Challenge at the JNF, General Hospital. ZIZ were present, and it would be aired tonight on the news. We're quite excited about it. I danced myself, so look out for me. Look out for me. I really enjoyed myself. And so I'm here now with you. We will continue with the nurses' luncheon at 12 midday. We will be distributing
That's
luncheon.
today?
Yes.
Okay.
Usually, we would have a sit down, but because of the coronavirus, we are not doing that. So what we would do, we would distribute the catered lunches to all the different nurses who are on duty in the morning, and then in the afternoon, we'll take an afternoon meal. In the evening, they will have an evening meal for those who come on for the night, right? So we would cater for each shift
Right.
throughout, and it's all the institutions. We are talking Mary Charles, Poxon, Cardin Home, JNF, all 11 health centers, and the Clarence Fitzroy Bryan College as well. So we are spreading it out to ensure that our nurses feel appreciated.
Right.
Also, we will be distributing gift baskets, gift packages to our nurses. Approximately over 300 persons we will be giving gift packages today to ensure that that nurse feels like somebody remember. We remember you. And I think, man, 365 days, sometimes 366, and one day out of all of that, I think the nurses need to be recognized. And don't tell me nothing less than that. One day a year, you can recognize. I am a person who believes in staff appreciation, not just nurses appreciation. I believe in staff appreciation across the board, because all of us work hard. It's no one man. Everybody work hard. Yes, we get pay, but a little something, a little incentive. You might say, maybe we don't want to go today, but Lord, I'll go in. I'll go in.
I was doing some research and I came across the International Nurses Association website, and I took this from the website. It says, influencing lives and patient outcomes in a variety of different settings. Nurses are an integral part of the healthcare system and every medical team. overworked, and in many cases underappreciated. Today's nurse has brought together some of the brightest minds in nursing, recognizing them for their accomplishments and creating a unified voice for the community. Through our various platforms, we give nurses a way of publishing their experiences, insights, and health knowledge to share with other nurses, physicians, patients, and online health seekers. As you mentioned, you guys were able to put on an educational symposium. And so you have that knowledge of what it takes to be a nurse.
Yes.
And you took that opportunity to share some of what it takes to be a nurse. And I say kudos to you. Also, you mentioned that there was a message from the health minister in celebration of International Nurses Day.
Yes.
So for those persons who are listening, the St. Kitts Nurses Association is indeed active.
Yes.
And has been engaged in a number of activities to celebrate and commemorate Nurses Day, as I would say, Nurses Appreciation Day. And Ms. Francis would like to continue with the other activities that the association will be carrying out.
Okay, on the 13th, tomorrow evening, we will be at Barry's Karaoke Bar, where our nurses will come out to sing and enjoy themselves from 8 p.m. up to 2 a.m. with Barry. So persons are asked to come out and join us, listen to the nurses hear us sing, and have a good time. We want to interact with you. We want to have fun with you. It's not just about us. We want the community to come. So if you think you can sing, come out and challenge the president of the Nurses Association, because I will be there tearing down the place. On the 14th, I must make a note here. We planned the local, regional, and international food fair for the square, Independence Square. However, that has to be postponed until further notice. In the evening of May the 14th, which would be Friday evening, we will be celebrating with our international nurses a medical ward party at the police training school. So the square, the police training school square, we are going to be there, the nurses. And so it's open not to the general public, but to all nurses. You can bring your boyfriend, bring your little friend, and you come out at any time from around 7 p.m. going up to 12 midnight. We'll be there enjoying ourselves, having little drinks, laughing, music, and socializing, because we believe that because we have our Filipinos who came here from so far away. We also have the Cuban nurses who are here with us, and we have other nurses who would have migrated here from different islands. We believe that you must recognize and appreciate these nurses for their contribution to health and the way that they would have sacrificed to come to our country, especially when here in St. Kitts we have such a shortage of nursing personnel. Persons, as I said, over the years, nursing would have been a bit on the downhill. I would say that persons were not showing much interest in entering the profession itself. The public had a very negative attitude towards nurses on a whole, because, as I said, the public is not aware of who the nurse is and her role. And if you do not understand, then you would react. So we, as the association, we're coming out to the people, trying to educate the people about our role as the nurse, who we are as nurses. I must say that I will not make any excuse for some of the nurses, because some nurses, their behavior is just out of line. And straight up, the nurses need to come better than that. Professionalism must lead. We must lead with professionalism at all times, no matter what. And the patients, when they come to you, they expect care. Right. They expect compassion. They're scared. They're scared, and they don't know what is happening. So they will panic. They will act up. But you, as the nurse, must maintain that calm, that, that comfort, to comfort the patient. I must say though, there are some patients you just have to give them the little, listen, pep up, right? You have to give them the little mama watch. But we must still do it gently. You know, you got to be gentle and have a little tack with it. Because at the same time, the general public is looking at you, and now we have these cell phones and everything end up on Facebook. Yeah. You don't even know the patient got the phone. So nurses, be very careful, because the general public is looking at you, and we do not want that stigma to follow us anymore. We are trying to engage the public and to build that relationship, yes, a good rapport with the general public, with whom we love so much. We will have on the 15th, which is Saturday morning from 5 a.m., we are going to have a health walk and breakfast. So we will start at the Robert Llewellyn Bradshaw International Airport roundabout, go along the Kim Collins Highway, and we will end at the Frigate Bellon, where we will have breakfast on sale for $10. So persons can come and get a breakfast. Even if you don't walk, come buy the breakfast from the nurse them, okay? Come out and support the Nurses Association and get your breakfast. We will also be having a picnic and barbecue on Sunday, the 16th, and that will culminate, and it will be at Cockershell Beach. We're just going there to have a good time. Persons, the general public is invited. You come on the beach and you relax with the nurses. We sell a few little drinks and have a really, really good time. And that will sum up the week of activities. Now, because of the coronavirus, the Nurses Association can't go all out. But come next year, once we would have gained some level of herd immunity, and the country would settle down a bit. We are hoping for the best. Then next year, look out, because the association is coming big. And we're coming ready. And we want the general public to support us. Support us. Come out, dance with the nurses, have a good time. You might meet your wife, you don't know. You might find a husband. You might find a wife. You might find a friend, yes, a companion, a lifelong friend and a mentor. Come out and support the nurses and be a part of who we are. Right now, working with the hospital, the dance, I must make mention of the dance this morning, whereas every other country and island would have performed the Jerusalem dance using only nurses or only police or only doctors. You even saw pastors doing the dance. What St. Kitts did this morning, we showed the world how we beat coronavirus and how we're going to continue to beat coronavirus by uniting. So the entire multidisciplinary team approach that we use and utilize every single day was shown this morning on display. We had nurses, we had a doctor, we had maids, we had EMS, we had persons from the lab, persons from operating theater, and we even had professional dancers dressed like patients to show you that the patient and all could break it down. And so we showed the general public this morning using God as the center of who we are as people. We showed the public how we can win any challenge that comes towards us, and we united as one. So look out for it. Put on ZIZ tonight. Watch the nurses.
You know, Ms. Francis, I am so happy to see that the Nurses Association is having all of these activities despite the challenges that they're facing. And, you know, I think nurses have been very much overwhelmed during this pandemic because you have to work twice as hard.
Yes.
You have to work more shifts. And so to see that you guys have been given this opportunity to celebrate and to have a little bit of fun,
yes,
is very good.
Because all work and no play make Jamela a dull nurse. I have to play. I have to have a little fun in between.
You know, and as we're here having this conversation, we're in COVID-19, and as I mentioned before, nurses have been posed with a number of challenges. My question for you, how has nurses, or how has the association rather, managed during this pandemic?
How we managed?
Yeah, what were some of the challenges that you guys face, and what are you guys doing now to overcome those challenges?
The challenges will continue. As I would say, the challenges that we faced before the coronavirus and after are basically the same. It's been difficult. Yes, we know. The public knows about the institutions. They know that we it's not the best. Come on, let's just be frank about that. It's no bashing of nobody, because nobody could bash anybody, right? Because the problems that we are facing, they didn't happen overnight. Rome was not built in a night. So any problem that we have, I would not want to be too specific about it, because persons tend to politicize everything. And as I say, I am the nurse politician. So I am in the business of the politics of nursing. So if you want to ask me about politics, ask me about nursing politics. And we're going to talk that, right? Because at the end of the day, the person will point fingers. But we must recognize that nothing happened overnight. So the challenges came from way before into the future. But we are on the verge now of working together to fix it. To fix it. That's all I could really say about it, you know. We have challenges and we are working on it. And we don't want to focus too much on the challenges. We're focusing on what is the recommendation, how do we fix it. Because when we focus too much on the actual, this is this and that is that, and the place ain't changing, nothing actually changes. Bring your solution, bring your recommendation. The patients need us. They're waiting for us. And we cannot sit by just, complaining about all the challenges we have. Listen, St. Kitts nurses are the most versatile nurses around the world. When you go to other countries, these nurses cannot be moved from their area of expertise. They can't function. St. Kitts nurses, you put me here today, you send me medical ward, I could walk and get the work done. You send me surgical later down in the day, say surgical want some help, I could help down there. You understand? And so we have learned to improvise and to work with the system. No, don't make no joke about it. We will not settle and we will not tolerate for it to stay this way. And that's why we are working with whoever government is there. We are willing to work with you. So we're telling you now, we're willing to work with you. Reach out to the St. Kitts Nurses Association. Reach out to us. Put us in the forefront to help you. Because we have an impact. You may not think we do, but we have an impact. We have a voice. And we need to be heard. And if you're going to work on your own, do it your way. But when we challenge you, based on providing quality health care for our patients, don't get offended. But reach out to us, because we are here. We want to work with you. We want to work with the government. We want to work with the people. Because as I said, we're here on the nursing politics. This is what we're talking about.
As we spoke about nurses that were on the front line, personally, were you one of those nurses that were on the front line?
Front line? Frontline? I was frontline in outpatients department, sanitizing and taking care of my patients when they come. But I am not to take all the credit for frontline. The real frontline nurses, I would say, DSA, would be down in the community sector. And the accident and emergency, and we had the respiratory areas and those at the private ward units. These are where the main frontline people. Yes, all of us could consider ourselves frontline because we were all at risk, quite honestly. But I can't say I really was not front no line, right? I played my role. I put on my mask, I sanitized my hands, social distancing. We try to encourage persons to maintain the protocol set out in the SROs, right? And the regulator, the emergency powers that were there. We encouraged it. However, I would not say that I am up front as the direct frontline, but I am frontline. I came out to work every day when everybody else was home, resting. The nurses, the doctors, the orderlies, the maids, the cooks, administration personnel, everybody, pharmacists, all of us, we had to work, because when the public came up there, they expected us to be there. That's why we deserve respect. We deserve respect because everybody else was home. If I was working in your position, I could have been home cocking up my foot and watching TV. I couldn't put up my foot and watch no TV. I had to be on the job, ready to serve you. And I have been serving my people. I have been a nurse since 2005. I joined the nursing profession. I came into the gates at Clarence Fitzroy Bryan College, and I have been here for years, and I'm not going anywhere. I'm probably going to be here till 110. You know, they're going to run me out the hospital, but I'm going to be a nurse for a very, very long time because it's my passion. I wanted to be a nurse all my life, and I think this is the only way for me forward. And I know there are a lot of young people out there who they want to become nurses. They may not have all the qualifications that they need, right? But what I'm asking you to do is to go to the college at CFBC, have a discussion there with the dean to find out how they can help you to get to where you need to go. Because nothing will happen overnight. Whether it takes you 4 years or 6 years to get your degree, the time gonna pass the same way. So you might as well start somewhere and get in, because we want people to come into the profession. We are not saying that we do not appreciate our overseas nursing personnel, but we want our own people to come up and nurture their own. Come on, St. Kitts, we are the nurses. We are our male and female nurses. Come out of the shell, come out of your hiding places and come into the profession. We need you more than ever before. We shall not become dependent on overseas people to come in. We want them to come, yes, and we embrace them, but where are my people to care for our own?
Right. Miss Frances, we'll take a short break to say thank you to our sponsors.
Yes.
And when we come back, we'll open the phone lines to hear some of our callers to continue to show appreciation and say thank you to our nurses on Nurses Day. Let's take a short break.
Okay.
Buying your medication is easy with City Drug Store's curbside pickup. WhatsApp our certified pharmacist at 662-8769 with your requests. For prescriptions, take a clear photograph and send for review. We will engage you in dialogue and then provide a quotation and link for payment. You can then pay via TDC's online payment portal. And once the transaction is complete, you'll be notified that your pickup is ready. Yes, it's that easy. Send your WhatsApp message to 662-8769 to order your medications today with City Drug Store's curbside pickup service.
Flow Broadband and TV is packed with even more value as you get a free Samsung tablet, free installation, and 50% off your bill for 3 months when you sign up now. Yes, a free Samsung tablet. Power all you do at home with up to 100 megabits per second super fast broadband. Plus, stay HD entertained with Flow TV. Stream, share, and do more on your new free tablet, which will also keep you connected on the go with ease. Sign up at a Flow store today. Conditions apply.
Cool. Energize your goals with Lucozade. Get it cool. Look under the cap, find the code, win it. Thousands in prizes, iPhones and TVs. Or win 30 grand US dollars for your goals. That's goals.
For a chance to win $30,000 US dollars, purchase any Lucozade Energy promo bottle. Look under the cap and find the code to win iPhones, TVs, and free Lucozade for $30,000 US dollars to energize your goals. See website, social media, or press for details. Lucozade, taste the energy.
Good morning and welcome back to Voices. We have a caller on the line.
Okay.
Okay, we seem to have lost that call. So we're taking your calls, the numbers to call, your headphones. We are taking those calls. We have another caller on the line. Caller, good morning. You are live on Voices.
Good morning, Mr. Cornelius.
Good morning, Miss Henrietta. Thank you so much for your call.
Oh yes, you know I am nurse in the station. Good morning to Nurse Francis.
Good morning.
Well, I love your enthusiasm,
Thank you.
and I personally want to say thank you to the nurses of St. Kitts. I've used your services,
Yes.
childbirth, once or twice, short stay, and my relatives. You know, my husband has been critically ill twice, and I can't complain
Okay.
of the services. You know, other relatives of mine, and I do appreciate you.
Thank
And
you.
you, because tell you the truth, I can't even stand the sight of blood. I feel sick. So I know I couldn't be a nurse. So the thing that nurses have to do, Lord, I think I would have been dead by now.
Understand.
You all have some good strong stomach, you know. But it's, as I said, go do the job because I was teaching. Teaching is not easy either. But the dedication.
Right.
And I also want to commend the nurses' aides.
Yes.
Because sometimes we tend to overlook them, or they're in a nurse. But they do a lot of the same duties as nurses.
Yes.
And in terms of your association, how do they fit? Can they become members? That's one question.
Yes. The St. Kitts Nursing Association, we do not discriminate at all. Every nurse has the opportunity to become a member of the St. Kitts Nurses Association. Reason being, as you said, we cannot discriminate. And even if the nurse does not have all the qualifications that the most senior nurse would have, this is where we have the significant human resource. So we
They
now
can-
will
sometimes it's more
provide.
nurses aid on the ward than nurses.
Yes, but then what I am looking at is for us to educate them, provide
Yeah, I
equal
was coming to that too.
opportunity for career advancement, that they too can advance and come up the line and go into and matriculate
you
into
said something very
the
important,
general
you know.
nursing program, and we need not lose them. Because these
true.
are the people that we can actually utilize and educate them in the process. So nurses need to be educated, and the assistants and the attendants, they are at the forefront with us. We work closely with them. We have members who participate with us. They assist us in so many activities. And so we are so
Especially
grateful for
at the
them.
district.
Yes, both
health
district
centers.
and institution.
And another thing I want to ask you, because maybe, sometimes they complain. Well, I know in the Virgin Islands, the police have what they call, you can compliment or you can complain.
Right?
Where they have boxes, you can just drop off, I wish to commend Nurse Francis, or I wish to comment on the treatment I received from Nurse Henry,
Yes. We have
And
suggestion boxes.
It's not even a matter of punishment, it's a matter of helping those who fall by the way.
Yes. We have
I
suggestion
think you all
boxes.
should try that.
We have suggestion boxes. Your suggestion is good. However, we use suggestion boxes. We don't use compliment or complain. We use suggestion boxes. So whether you
But
choose to
maybe if you
compliment
say
or
like that,
complain,
you get more response.
well,
you put
what
it
would
like
make
that,
you
they
think
could
that
go
we
in the
don't
same
get
box.
responses?
No, serious. If you put it like that, suggestion box, compliment, and complain.
Well, that's something
So
we'll have
some
to
people
take
are
up
not
with
aware, 'cause I
administration.
noticed some nurses, the same way they carry on in the area, in the street. And some of them, it doesn't even seem after them because the soft skills were never developed.
Well, that's why we're working on it. And we're uniting right now, and we're focusing on strengthening the nursing profession as a whole. And I think, as I said, nothing, Rome was not built in a day. It
I
will not
understand, but we
happen
have to have more
overnight.
people. And as you said, those who come nurses aid, many of them may not have the science. And as you say, if they can be put through the safe busy, Because sometimes they may feel overwhelmed, but if a certain allowance can be made for them to attend the classes and stuff like that.
Right, so we are looking for the government to assist us in terms of providing educational
put your thing in
courses.
writing.
Yes,
Yeah, but put it in writing.
yes, and pay for these nurses to, go back to do the English, go back to do
Yes,
the
English
math.
and science.
And when they get their science and they go forward, we put them into the nursing profession. It's been there for a long time.
Well,
Right,
look
and
what
we
it-
are
look what-
still
look what the
working on
document
it.
And send
And-
it again.
Okay.
Yes.
To all the nurses, whether you're working at the hospital, at the different homes, home care, clinics, doctors, dentists, I salute the nurses today.
Thank you.
Now, one more question in terms of specialization.
Right,
Yes.
Miss Henry, just before you go, ask the question and then we'll
Yes,
take another
this is the
call.
question I'm going to ask. In relation to specialization, how much effort is put into helping or encouraging nurses to do specialized work, which would reduce your reliance on foreign workers? All right, that's it.
Okay, well.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Yes, well, for many years, there have been opportunities for our nurses to specialize in different areas, right? But mainly the requirement that is here in St. Kitts is that our nurses become midwives, and that's because in 1919, St. Kitts had one of the highest percentage of infant mortality rate, death rate almost in the world. And so we had to bring in persons from England to teach our nurses. We had to develop the Nurses and Midwives Council and get all of this in place so that we can prevent the same thing that happened in 1919 from happening again. However, as I said, we do send nurses to specialize in different areas. We have more work to do, but it's something that we have to work on. It's not going to be easy. It's a process. And right now we have a new matron at the institution, at the hospital. We also have a fairly new community coordinator who is there for me, who holds the position for maybe 3 years now. We have a new dean of health sciences who would have been there for quite a few years, but also got the position maybe in the last 3 years. So what I would say, and I myself am a new president of the Nurses Association, so you must give us some time to work it all together. We have the council, which is now active and functioning, the St. Christopher Nevis Nurses and Midwives Council. And we have a great mandate, and I can assure you that we are working hard to ensure that we specialize our nurses, we get the best quality out there. We have standards now. We want to maintain those standards of professional care, and everything that we do, we want to have high standards, and it takes time to do, but we are working on it.
Right. Ms. Francis, are there areas that the association or the health ministry is focusing on to get more persons involved? For example, you mentioned that you guys would send off or encourage nurses to get specialized in whatever area. Is there an area that you need more assistance in?
All areas we need more assistance in. However, this pandemic really slowed down the world. It slowed down everything and everybody. It's left up to you now to do online courses and to do other, different educational symposiums here and there. But honestly, we need help all over. We need help in every single area. But we are working on it. And as I said, we may always believe that the specialties are such a big deal. It is. However, I must say that because our nurses here, as I said, are so versatile, we are able to function like specialized nurse everywhere. And we will get to where we need to be. But we will never let go of the fact that we will rotate our nurses. Because when you stay in one area too long, you lose your skills from another area.
Right.
You don't remember how to do this. You don't remember how to do that. No, not in St. Kitts. That's why we're so strong here. Because we could move anywhere. If a nurse from maternity call in sick, we could pull a nurse and send her down there. The system don't fall down. You can't just say no nurse down there in maternity because the specialized nurse sick. No. All how we specialize. We coming down to deliver the baby. Yeah. Somebody out in A&E sick. The matron don't have to worry up herself too much about it because she knows she can count on a nurse that will be able to go there and manage. It's a lot of work. It's hard work, but we can manage.
Let us take it is 11:51. We'll just take a short break to say thank you to our sponsors if we have no callers. And we'll come back and take just a few more calls. And we'll wrap up at 12. Let's take a short break.
Flow Broadband and TV is packed with even more value as you get a free Samsung tablet, free installation, and 50% off your bill for 3 months when you sign up now. Yes, a free Samsung tablet. Power all you do at home with up to 100 megabits per second super fast broadband. Plus, stay HD entertained with Flow TV. Stream, share, and do more on your new free tablet, which will also keep you connected on the go with ease. Sign up at a Flow store today. Conditions apply.
Insurance Company Limited, where you get more coverage for less.
Welcome back to Voices on WinFM 98.9. I'm your host for today, Devon Cornelius. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to be a part of our program. We are here with Miss Jamila Francis, and she is the president of the St. Kitts Nurses Association. It is now 11:56. We'll close off at 12. Ms. Francis, I'll give you the opportunity to give your closing remarks. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you. I want to say thank you to the general public for having me, for listening in and supporting the Nurses Association, however you have. For me as a nurse, it's very dear to me. I have a passion for nursing. It's a part of me. And I say to people that there is no such thing as a bad nurse. There is no such thing as a bad nurse. Every nurse is good. The challenges that we face sometimes put us under so much strain that we don't even know how to cope. We don't even know how to cope. Many of us are sick and show up to work sick, but we come for you. Many of us have issues at home with our families and our lives are falling apart around us, and we come for you. So how dare we think that a nurse is bad? She might be having a bad day, but every nurse is good, because I will tell you, even the one that people might say is the bad apple, somebody gonna say she good. Somebody gonna say, no, she's the best nurse. Because she was the best nurse to them. You understand? So every nurse is good, and I want the general public to go away understanding that we as nurses, we care for you. We want to care for you. We want you to, when you come to us, feel comfortable to come. And understand us as well. Don't just come expecting all of everything about you. Understand who the nurse is and receive us, because we are willing to work with you and we are willing to help you. This is our job. Without a patient, we ain't got no job. We need the patient. And so when you come, embrace us and we will embrace you as well. For the past 5 years, the International Council of Nurses have used themes starting with the word nurses, a voice to lead. So I want to appeal to all nurses listening in Radio Land that you are a voice, a strong voice, and you must lead. You must lead. Do not just be followers, but lead. Lead with that level of professionalism. You know who you are.
Okay.
Don't forget, Miss Kelly teaching Professionalism 101. Don't forget who you are. Don't step out of that shell. You know who you are. Be that nurse, that special person, that leader. Because right now we are going towards the future of nursing. We are not going back. And I must say to my nurses, if ever, and I know it happens many times, where we feel like we are being pushed over the edge, like we are put in a position where we have to compromise in the care of our patients. Do not be afraid to say no. I will not compromise on the care of my patient. So if you have to tell doctor, wait on me. I am going to assess my patient. If it's not an emergency, give me some time. I have to assess my patient properly. Then you have to do what is right. Maintain standards. Yes, the system is overwhelming. Yes, we have a lot of patients to deal with. But do your work and do it well. And don't let nobody rush you. Because at the end of the day, when you make a mistake and you document or you don't document, you are the one that going in the hot water pot. Because the doctors could write themselves out of it. And everybody could write themselves. I can make I could remember one time a patient said to me, nurse, don't do this CMA, want you. Do this, just get the assessment down there. Don't do it again. I said, look, let me tell you something. When I write, I have to write legibly. I have to know what I am writing. So take off your clothes. Because I am going to do my full assessment again and write what I see. You just do it there, but you come up here and it's time for your other assessment. Let the nurse do she job. Because at the end of the day, we must protect ourselves. We have our license to protect. I have my child to care for. You have your child to care for, nurses. You have your family to care for. Protect yourself. And if we must put some pressure on whatever government is there, we will put some pressure on them and have them do what is necessary to get us the people we need, whether we're going to bring them in or we're going to train persons to come in. We're going to do what we have to do to get to the point where our patients are cared for. So join with me. Join with me. We are nursing terrorists. That's who we be. And we are no longer going to sit behind and be silent. Be silent. If there are things that needs to change, it's time enough we change them. Let we unite together, man. We want to work with the government. We want to work with all the different institutions. We want to work together. This is our time. Our people deserve the best care possible. And that's what I have to say. I will give my best. Here and there, you might, I might go ahead here, I might get a little watch on the side, but, forgive me. But trust me, we love you. We love the people. We care for the people, and we are here for the people.
Yes.
So please trust us and come out. When the Nurses Association, you hear us in the media and we're having events, come out and support us, because everybody done had a nurse. At some point in your life, you had a nurse. Because we here from the womb to the tomb. From your born, we here. When you're dying, we here. Or when you're done gone, we still got to comfort your family. We are here for you all the way across the lifespan, and we are not going anywhere. There will always be a nurse. So please, we need you to come out and support us.
And thank you so much, Ms. Francis, firstly, for accepting our invitation here at WinFM to be a
Yes.
guest in our program to speak about the upcoming activities for the Nurses Association, and as you're celebrating Nurses Week, and to shed some light on the work that the nurses have been doing and continue to do, even as we're in this pandemic. And thank you so much for being here on our program. We're hoping that you can be back in the future.
Yes.
For us to have another very frank and candid discussion, about the work that our nurses have been doing. And again, thank you. Thank you to our listeners, and thank you so much for tuning in to